Have you ever felt flattered, and yet somehow deeply uneasy? Like the words were sweet, but the smile behind them wasn't. What if the nicest thing someone said to you was just a key? Not to your heart, but to your defenses. They don't charm you because they care. They charm you because it works. Compliments are supposed to feel good. They make us feel seen, valued, appreciated. But what happens when they're used as a weapon? When praise becomes a tool of manipulation, subtle, seductive, and hard to question? That's the essence of the compliment trap, and narcissists have mastered it. To understand this trap, we need to understand the people who set it. Narcissistic personality disorder isn't just ego or vanity. At its core, it's a fragile self-identity that needs constant reinforcement. Psychologists trace it to a mix of genetics, childhood dynamics, and trauma, especially environments where love was conditional or unpredictable. According to attachment theory, children who grow up in these spaces often learn to perform, to charm, to manipulate, because being their true self was never safe or enough. So as adults, they use tools like flattery, not as connection, but control. Narcissists are drawn to admiration like moths to flame, but not for warmth, for fuel. They know most people are guarded, so they look for a shortcut, and few things lower defenses faster than praise. You'll notice it early on. An overwhelming focus on how amazing you are will compliment you not just on your looks, but on things that feel deeper. Your intellect, your humor, your energy. It feels different than the usual small talk. It's more intense, more intimate. But it's not real intimacy. It's strategic bonding. This is known as love bombing in psychological literature. It's common in abusive dynamics, especially early on. The goal is to overwhelm your system, to fast-track attachment. For example, imagine meeting someone new at work. On day 2, they're telling you how brilliant you are, how they've never met someone like you. They hint that you're rare, special, different. Sounds flattering. But it also creates an invisible pressure to live up to that version of you and to stay in their good graces, so the praise doesn't stop. Here's the hidden catch. They're not seeing you. They're baiting you. Narcissists don't just flatter. They calibrate. They watch how you respond. They note what makes you glow and what makes you crack. Compliments become a form of data collection. Every smile, every thank you, every moment of softening becomes a lever for later. You might think they're being kind, but they're actually building a map. And once they know where your ego lives, they know exactly where to press. Let's say they realize you're insecure about being overlooked, so they tell you no one appreciates your ideas like I do. Now, when they withdraw that attention later, it stings more, and you chase it harder. This is called intermittent reinforcement, a concept rooted in behavioral psychology. It's the same mechanism used in gambling addiction. You don't win every time, but the memory of winning keeps you pulling the lever. With narcissists, the compliment becomes the win, and the silence becomes the punishment. You start adjusting your behavior, trying to earn the next hit of praise, trying to be worthy again. That's not affection. That's conditioning. Eventually, you stop questioning the compliments and start fearing their absence. Narcissists exploit this shift masterfully. Once you're hooked on their validation, they can begin the devaluation phase. They might say, "You used to be so sharp. What happened?" Or "I miss when you were more fun." You've changed. Suddenly, the same person who built you up is the one tearing you down. It's not random. It's not a slip. It's engineered. Psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula refers to this pattern as idealize, devalue, discard. The compliment trap is just the first stage. The rope they use to pull you close, okay? And once you're close, they don't need to be kind anymore. They just need you to remember what it felt like when they were. That nostalgia becomes a leash. You keep hoping they'll go back to how they were at the start. You blame yourself for the change. You try harder and lose yourself in the process. Because by the time you realize the trap, you've already closed the door behind you. So, how do you break free? It starts with understanding what healthy praise feels like. Genuine compliments aren't attached to demands. They don't create pressure. They don't fluctuate based on obedience. They're gifts, not contracts. If someone flatters you only to later use that praise as leverage, that's not affection. That's manipulation. Protecting yourself means noticing patterns, not just what they say, but how it makes you feel over time. Do you feel safer or more uncertain? Do you feel seen or scanned? The compliment trap only works if you forget your worth. But when you remember it, when you stop chasing external validation, the trap collapses. Their words lose power. When your self-respect grows louder, some people give to connect, others give to control. Learn to tell the difference. Your peace depends on it. Protect your energy. Stay curious. Subscribe for more from Beneath the Cortex.